Welcome to Retro Scale Modelling. This is part 16 of DeAgostini's Star Wars The Millennium Falcon build. Scale is 1 to 43. In this part, I'm going to be placing on one of the outer ring for the gun turret and then getting on to painting of the model. So let's jump into this and see how I get on. Starting off with issue 48. And in this issue, I'll be placing in the inner ring for the turret mount. Before I place it in, there's a couple of little things to install. First of all, the window area, and that just pops in. There is a little location point for it, so that you can line it up properly. Next is this part here, and as you can see, it just goes into this big recessed area. It's quite a nice fit. It just popped in. Because then that in turn goes onto the signal ring. So just pushing it in first of all, and on the reverse just screwing it all in. Onto issue 49, and in this issue there's a couple of little bits and pieces to be added to the hull. So as you can see there, I'm adding the pieces. These are all detailed pieces for adding the details obviously to the ship to look at more authentic. There's various sorts dotted around that I'm just placing in. Each one has its own location point, as you would expect, and it's just a matter of making sure they're the right way around and so on, and fitting them. And again, some of these parts are really small, so the camera doesn't do a very good job of picking them up. And once all these little parts are fitted, it's time to think about painting. I'm starting off with Rebel Aquacolor 83 Rust. So this is be like a darker red colour I'm using, and I'm just painting one panel with this colour just to begin with. Now I'm putting this colour on very loosely, and I want different depths on it. I'm also scratching it a little bit to show some scorch marks and so forth. I'll then go over it with a dry brush to blend it all back in. I'm now switching to Rebel Aquacolor 76 light grey, and once my hand moves out of the way, you'll see the area where I'm painting. And this again is like the rust colour. I'm putting it on very loosely, almost haphazardly, to create depth of field. And you can see there I'm just flicking it on, and I'm using a practically dry brush for this. I'm putting a little bit of paint on the brush, taking away any excess, and just placing it on using the circular motion that I use when I'm painting yellows. I will then use the same colour to drag my brush along various areas of the hull, no particular pattern, just completely random, just marking up the shape. I've then gone back to the 83 Rust and done the same with the light grey colour. I'm just marking off panels, flicking on areas where it looks right to me, and just starting to have the distress look, I should say. My next colour choice is 36 Carmine Red, and once more I'm doing a full panel of this colour, again very loosely. I'm wiping off any excess here with a towel, as you can see, to give it that faded in look. And I'll be doing this as I go along, increasing the colour and the depth. So as you can see, I've done a couple of panels with the red colour, and going back with the red, and doing the same thing with the rust and the grey, going over certain areas of the ship just to mark them and colorise them. And I'm using very light touches here. I hardly want any paint on whatsoever, just little tiny flashes. It's then over to Rebel Aquacolor 15 Yellow. I'm working in the same vein that I have been doing, putting a minimum amount of paint on my brush and applying it to the surface. And if I feel I've gone too heavy, I'll just wipe a little bit off to take any excess off. If you do this and you go too heavy on it, you can always use a different colour to tone it down and go over the top. Because you want the distressed look, it doesn't matter if you've got overlapping colours. Sometimes actually that adds to the effect of the ships that you're working on anyway. So you're gradually just building everything up. And as well, if you do have a big kit like this, you're painting and you're brush painting like I do, it is better to pick a section out and work on that only, then move on to another section. So as you can see, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've done half the shape, and now I'm working on the other half, putting in the same colours randomly around the hull. So I'm putting in the 36 Carmine Red once more, and I've gone too heavy on this. It's gone too bright. Now the camera's not picking up it as an orangey colour, but it is very bright red. So what I've done is I've gone lightly over it with the rust colour, 83 rust, just to dampen down that red a little bit. And as you can see there, that's the sort of colour that I'm personally after. So as I said, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake. As you can see, I'm constantly making mistakes when I'm doing this, but it's easy to fix, and it shouldn't be too much of a drama for anyone, even a novice painter. All you're just doing is adding the layers, changing them as you go along if you don't like the look of something, till eventually you will get it right, or how you'd like it to be. And now I've moved on to Tamiya's Weathering Series C, and I'm using the gunmetal component here, and I'm just going over the panels and raised areas with this. Some areas I'm going heavy, other areas I'm going light. Again, it all depends on the builder, unless you're going for the perfect look, of course. But it all depends on how you feel and how you want your model to look. So this is all part of the distressing process of painting. And this is where I'll bring the build to an end. In actual fact, issue 49 that I'm working on now is the halfway point of the build. How many more videos there'll be, I'm not too sure. If you haven't done so already, why don't you have a look at my channel for my other builds? There may be something there of interest to you. If you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be updated on all my upcoming projects, and of course for the build log for this one. Hit that like button, and of course leave a comment. And don't forget to share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.